Are new here, my name is Jasmine. If you guys aren't new here, welcome back. So in today's video we are doing another speed build, and this speed build is going to be a bachelor's industrial apartment, or flat if you will. Now the whole idea behind this entire apartment was to give it nice like a nice modern tone, but with lots of wood involved, if that makes any sense. I really wanted it to look like a bachelor lives here, like a single man. He has no kids, no girlfriend, he's just like by himself. That's really what I wanted to do for this entire build. Now, I started off, you guys saw me typing these codes in. These are the legal hats that you can do. It's testing cheats space true after you press the Control-Shift-C, and then I typed in a few other codes. Like I said, if you guys want me to make a video about them, I will. You guys just have to comment and tell me if you guys want that or not. Now, what I started off by doing was I made a square room. I raised the platform, I want to say by one level or two, and I copied and pasted above, but the thing where the thing that I'm going to tell you right now is the height differences in the rooms are way different. So downstairs on the bottom level, the height is a medium-sized wall. Now the height is way higher than a normal sized room wall. I decided to do a higher size just because I wanted to give that, like, I don't know, it really gives off, it's giving me like New York vibes, like industrial, like a New York living in an apartment. You can see the vents everywhere and stuff like that. That is the best way I could probably describe what I was trying to accomplish. But upstairs, I copied and pasted the room, but the wall height is different, like I said. So upstairs, the wall height is just normal. It's just the small walls. And then on the bottom, it is the medium-sized walls. Now, what I did for this room was I made an earthy toned wall, which was this wooden industrial plank wall. I just made one wall different than the rest, and the rest are going to become white. Now, I did do these brown and silver tones for the appliances. Say the coffee maker, the sink, I do end up changing because I thought I could add a pop of color, but I was like, no, let me just stick to what I was thinking of. So I will remove it. You guys will see. But I did add a dishwasher. I put those nice black rectangular windows. I put 2 of them there, and then I also put these cabinets there. Now, the cabinets on the lower level stay, but the ones on the upper level, they do not stay. Like, the upper cabinets, they do not stay. I felt like it was just taking up too much room, and it was like making the room seem smaller than what it actually was. And right here, I was playing around with the middle console of the room, but it was just not working how I wanted it to. I wanted to raise the middle platform, or like lower it by a little bit by making a room and then cutting it and then adding it into the center living room itself, but it didn't work out how I wanted to, so I was just like, okay, I have to work with what I got. So I just ended up adding a staircase, and that staircase actually gets moved in more, so it's attached to the wall and it's not just floating like that. And then also I added the big flat screen TV, and I like dug into the wall a little bit, so I cut those 2 planks right there, and then I extended the wall out by 1 square, and then I connected them together, and that's how I got that. Like, it's giving the wall some depth. And then I also made the wallpaper of that wall this nice slate gray brick. I was really going to stick to all like white besides that one wall, but the problem with that was I felt like it needed more character, so I just copied and pasted the ink dropper onto the other side, and that is why there are 2 walls now that are brick, and there's one that is industrial wood. And then I did an overhead over the oven, which I think it's really nice. It gives a lot of character to the kitchen. I actually add the refrigerator later on. I almost forgot a refrigerator. Don't ask me how I did that. It wasn't coming to mind when I was building the kitchen. And then I was like looking through all the appliances and I was like, oh crap, I forgot a refrigerator. So that is a refrigerator I went with. And I added these saucer lights just so I could like see what I was doing. They're not staying there. And then I added floating shelves. I put them about, I want to say like a arm length from each other, but at a slanted diagonal angle. And then I had these milk crates in the debug section. The problem with these milk crates are you can only have them on the floor, but whenever you have the testing cheats true hacks on, you can actually alt move them and make them bigger by a bracket or smaller by a bracket, however you want. So I just did the regular size and I just downsized a bracket each time and I just moved it up by alt and then 9. That is how you levitate them and bring them up on the counter, and then you just alt place them. Now, the living room is very unique. So I went with the all white rug with the black trim. I put these like I want to say these couches are like luxe in my mind. Don't worry, those plants don't stay there. I know they look hideous. They don't stay there. Don't worry. And then I added these 3-piece windows that I kind of like made closer together so it almost looks like it's one piece. But I thought they were nice, and then I added these big windows right there on the opposite wall, and I added those nice plants with a seating area and some nice pillows. Now, this is where I was getting frustrated with the lights. Now, the lights, we only have a few selections whenever you're just using no CCs. But whenever you have testing cheats true on, it allows you to use a few different objects that you usually wouldn't have in base game. So I was just trying to really figure out what to do with the lighting. I put a black air vent right there. I ended up putting a rack of pots down, a knife shelf, and then this was such a cool idea. I had a wine wall. The problem with this was I forgot I needed a door, a front door. So I actually had to remove that, and you guys will see that later. I put a few decorations, I put a plant, and some other stuff, but we'll get back to that later. Now we are doing the upstairs master bathroom. Now, not master bathroom, but master bedroom, and then the bath, the closet, and whatnot. Like I said, with doing this build, I felt like whenever I was initially thinking about it and like looking at inspiration ideas, I was really trying to find a house that caters to a single man, because I already did a single woman's house, single lady's house, and I felt like this would be such a good build to do. I was thinking a man is very simple. Men, they just like to keep everything simple, down to the colors, down to what they own, and things like that. So I went with like navy blue and black and white tones, and then like more wooden tones come into play into the restroom of this sim. Now, I was going back and forth between these beds because I really wasn't just feeling any of these beds whatsoever. Some of these beds, the colors weren't sitting with me right, so I actually went with a gray toned bed with the darker comforter. And then I actually put a nice mirror. It's not the 3-piece mirror that goes on the wall that looks all together. It's actually a single pieced mirror, and it has no border. It's like a frameless mirror, but it looks really nice. I put a desk, I put a laptop for this single sim. I put the nice large windows. What I did was I just copied and pasted with the dropper, and I just put them upstairs. Now, there wasn't really like a specific placement where these windows needed to go. You guys know when I'm doing windows, I really like to put them at like an even, I want to put one on one side and one on the opposite side in the same spot. But that's not exactly how it turned out in this build, and it was okay. I didn't have a problem with it. I think it looked actually pretty cool, and I put one window in front of the desk. Now the desk, it has these lights. You guys can't really see them, but they're like black book lights, and they are connected to the window as an overhead light. So whenever the sim is doing his work or paying bills or doing anything or writing a book, he could do it on his laptop right there. And right here I was going back and forth between two different rugs. Now this rug I ended up keeping, but the size I needed to downgrade, so I actually down bracketed by one. And then of course you had to have the TV. You guys have to have the dresser slash stand-up cabinet. I felt like I use a lot of dressers in my build, so I decided to go with a stand-up cabinet, and it actually turned out pretty good. And then I put a stereo system underneath the flat screen TV. And I did a closet and also a master bedroom. Now the closet, it was pretty simple. I just looked up shoes, and then I just put all these shoes together. And actually, I added another big window because I felt like the lighting looked really nice in this master bedroom. And that's where I down bracketed the rug just so it doesn't fill up all that space. And I ended up doing gray doors. I don't know why, but I felt like it fit like the aesthetic of things, like it was just going in the right direction, so I just did it. Now, this is the bedroom. It has a wooden back, and then those are the support beams for outside on the back wall, but I found like it looks so cool with having it right there, like as a part of the bed, so that's what that is. And then I also added that modern overhead lamp that is over the bed. Now we are into the bathroom. Yes, the master bathroom. So we are doing a nice earthy toned master bathroom. So I know the lighting's in here is pretty bad, so I actually added some saucer lights to help deal with it. And you can see my sim over there. He's kind of upset, but it's okay because we're building him a nice home. But I ended up just going pretty simple with the earthy tones, and I didn't really overdo it because, like I said, he is a bachelor, he is single, he doesn't have a lot to keep up with but himself. I added a black towel rack, I added a nice wood grain bathtub with silver metal accents. I added a nice robe on the back of the door, a medicine cabinet slash mirror. I find those actually pretty cool. I don't know if you guys know what those are or if you guys haven't seen them, but they're pretty cool. It's like killing two birds with one stone. But yeah, so it's like an open fixture mirror. So the mirror is on the outside, obviously, but it's almost like a three-dimensional rectangle, and obviously the mirror is on the outside, and then there's a latch on the side, and you pop it open, and then you keep all your medicines and antiseptics and everything in there, or whatever you want to keep in there. It doesn't have to be necessarily medicine or anything, but that's usually what it's made for. But anyways, so we are back to the room, and I'm just adding some props right here on this little hallway table. I added some cologne, I added a stack of clean clothes, also a stack of nice books. Now this is a closet. I was trying to down bracket the light fixture because it was just way too big and it looked ridiculous. This is what his closet looks like. I did 4 different sets of different colored clothes, and I was just adding light switches everywhere because I totally forgot to add them. And I did add these overhead like bubble sea lantern lights. That's the best way I could describe them, but that's what they kind of remind me of, like a boat's light. I don't know why, but that's just what it reminds me of. I added a toilet paper holder. Now, the outside, I know it looks plain, but we're going to fix that in a minute. But this is what the master bedroom looks like, and I ended up putting these big black saucers as the light fixtures just because I felt like that room needed more light specifically. And this is where the wine wall is going to take a turn. I had to take it down because I needed a front door really, really badly, and yeah, it just had to happen. But I was really trying to figure out the lighting for the dining table, and I felt like the lighting for the dining table really really came together, and then I added this nice bookshelf, and this is what it looks like so far. So yeah, here's the door. You see what I'm trying to do? The door has to be there. So I had to take all the wine out, which was totally fine. But I think the door looks nice there, and that is the overview of the downstairs and the upstairs. That is what it looks like. It really does look like a single bachelor is living here. So in a little bit, you guys are going to see that I do the outside of the house. I don't really go too crazy with it, but it's there. So here we are, and like I said, I wanted to make this an industrial bachelor's pad, and I was using like lots of wooden paneling. I was doing lots of nice earthy tones, lots of grays, lots of slate, and that invisible block that I put on top of the roof. So that is an actual roof, but it's just the base of the roof, so you can actually do whatever color you want to it. I didn't do really much to this like exterior. I paved a nice driveway. I put a mailbox. I lined the sides with some hedges, and I gave him a sports car because, like I said, he's a bachelor. He's living his best life. Has no kids. Has no girlfriend. He's probably dating around, but he has no girlfriend. So this is what I did. I just used the square drawing sprayer, and I did like a nice ground, and then I put a nice little coupe because he might be having like a mental breakdown, or I don't know, maybe he's just rich like that. He has some money like that. But I was trying to do like a carport, but whenever I was doing it, it just didn't work out in my favor, so I actually just left it. I was just going through everything and just making sure I didn't need to add anything else. But I took these poles out because, like I said, it just didn't work how I wanted it to. I was really trying to make a carport, but it just did not work. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, give me some ideas, and I will see you guys on the next one. And this is the Bachelor Industrial Apartment / Flat.